Hello, Dumpsterinos and Frugalistas! Today we are baking peanut butter cookies, but not just the same old, exactly the same as everybody else's peanut butter cookies that are pretty much all you can find on the internet. Last night the kids asked me if I could make peanut butter cookies today, and I said, sure thing. Because I'm that kind of cool mom that likes to greet her kids with fresh, homemade, warm cookies when they come home from school. Yes, I am that fabulous a mom. So anyway, I was looking through some peanut butter cookie recipes. I've done peanut butter cookie videos before. They were fine. They were great. If I said they were great, they were great. I'm sure they were. I'm looking online through all these recipes. Every cooking blog, every mommy blog has a peanut butter cookie recipe, and they say, oh, by far, these are the best peanut butter cookies I've ever had. Everybody loves them. Everybody requests them. I bring them to every party, every church social, every tea cake event. And then you read some reviews, and people will say, they're okay, they were too sweet, they weren't peanut buttery enough. And they're all basically the exact same recipe. I went back to my Fannie Farmer cookbook. Yes, Fannie Farmer. This is the cookbook I have had, for 35 years or so. It goes way back into the 1980s, into the dark ages, when music was worth listening to and life was good. And I know this recipe in the Fannie Farmer cookbook is a good peanut butter cookie recipe because I've made it a million times. My ex-husband, yes, that's the one. He loved peanut butter cookies, and I baked them for him all the time. But still, boring. I know some of you have a big issue with my unwillingness to follow recipes exactly as they're written. Anybody can follow a recipe. If you can read, you can follow a recipe. I actually can follow a recipe, but I don't really want to. Not with something like peanut butter cookies that I've made a billion times because it's just boring. I've got to do something different with these. Like, there's got to be some way to innovate the peanut butter cookie. So this is what I've come up with. Today, instead of starting with butter, a half cup of butter, which would be 1 stick, we're using peanut oil. Pure, golden, beautiful peanut oil. I thought about using ghee, but I thought, that's still just butter. Peanut oil. Now, this is not just peanut oil I went out and bought. I didn't just go buy a jug of peanut oil. You know when you get natural peanut butter and the oil rises to the top and you're supposed to stir it back in? I don't stir it back in. I pour it off and save it in a jar so that I have the oil for doing other things with. And then, in my mind, I've created diet peanut butter, right? Because what I have left is peanut butter with less fat. I mean, it's a lot drier. It's a different type of peanut butter. It still spreads somewhat. I like it. I personally like it. I like it that way. But anyway, that's what the oil is from. It has risen from the natural peanut butter, and I jarred it up. So half a cup of peanut oil. It smells peanut buttery. So I figure that's going to add more peanut flavor. We have half a cup of the oil going in our big old mixing bowl. To that, I will add a half a cup of peanut butter. Any peanut butter will do. Some of the recipes say, oh, you must use Jif. I don't know why. Why? Why be a peanut butter snob as if Jif is anything so special? If I was going to be a peanut butter snob about the whole thing, I'd say use some all-natural peanut butter that doesn't have a bunch of sugar already added and a bunch of other oils and a bunch of processing to keep it from separating. That's what I would say. But I'm just using basic, it's Skippy, okay? It's Skippy. I'm using Skippy peanut butter. It was a mounded half cup, let's just say. You know, I'm the kind of person, what kind of person are you, Frugal Mommy? Guess. You got it. I'm the kind of person who says, well, if the recipe calls for a cup of peanut butter, I'll put in a cup and a half, because that'll make it all the more peanut buttery. So it's a mounded half a cup, let's say. We've got that in with our oil, and we're going to add, it's supposed to be half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of white sugar, but it's gone pretty heavy on the brown sugar because quite frankly, brown sugar just tastes a lot better, and I just put a bunch in and packed it down and then just topped it off to a cup with the white sugar. And we'll just stir that all together. You know what? This is the special recipe for people who have carpal tunnel syndrome and don't want to, have to cream the butter and stir things that are difficult to stir. So far, this is very easy to stir. Then we're adding 1 egg. It was supposed to be beaten up already, but I didn't. Now it is. This is a pretty easy recipe, isn't it? Then we're going to have 1.5 cups of flour. Oops. A teaspoon of baking soda. And just about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And I'm sure there's already salt in this peanut butter, right? Because it's from a factory. Now the recipe in Fanny Farmer does not call for chocolate chips, but I'm going to add some chocolate chips to some of them, not to all. I want to be able to do the classic fork tine crisscross pattern, which the chocolate chips would interfere with. So I'll do some crisscross and I'll do some with some chocolate chips jammed on top. Well, I'd say this is coming together as a very nice dough. I was wondering if, because I used the oil instead of butter, it would be too soft. I mean, it's soft, but it looks fine. I was thinking I might have to refrigerate it for a while before baking, but I don't think I'll do. See? See? A beautiful dough. All right, we've got our cookie sheet lined with some foil. I think we've got enough fat going on in here that we don't need to grease or spray the cookie sheet. It'll be fine. So we'll just take little blobs of dough, roll them into balls, and place them on the cookie sheet. What's your favorite type of cookie, Dumpsterina? Chocolate chip? Lemon bars? Peanut butter cookies? Well, then these are for you. Chips, just kind of press them onto the top of a few of the cookies. The rest we'll do the crisscross pattern with the fork. Now they all say if your fork sticks to the dough, which mine really isn't. Well, that one did a little. Dip your fork in sugar and then crisscross it. And some people actually roll the little ball of dough in sugar first and then crisscross. But I don't know. I don't really like a cookie that's coated in sugar. It already has sugar on the inside, and then what hits your tongue is just a whole bunch of sugar. Like, it's too much. All right, there we go. We're gonna pop them in the 350-degree oven for 10 minutes, and hopefully there will be no catastrophic results, and they will be amazing and delicious. And now we will know that if you don't have butter, or you don't want to use butter, why, you can use peanut oil and get an enhanced peanut buttery flavor. They look pretty, don't they? There we go. timer. All right, we'll see you back in 10 minutes. We're counting down. 3, 2, 1. That's 10 minutes. Stop. I feel like we're going to give them 2 more minutes. I think they're a little too soft. Here we go again. Alrighty. Go. Ah! Just poked one of the chocolate chips and it came off because it stuck to my finger. But look, they look pretty good. They smell good, but the real question is, do they taste good? And we will find out soon enough, as soon as the Frugal babies are home from school, and they'll give it a taste test with a nice glass of milk. What a good afternoon treat. All right, so we'll be back with that in a moment. In the meantime, I will take those off to cool, and then I will ball up the rest of the dough. Yeah, baby. Where'd that chocolate chip go? Oh, don't mind. Knowing my girls, I think they're going to like the ones with the chocolate chips the best. Here, let's just stick one in where that one came out. Let's just pretend. There we go. Little chocolate chip in the peanut butter cookie dance. Little chocolate chip dance in the peanut butter cookie. Don't you guys dance when you cook? All right, Dumpsterinos and Frugalistas, the Frugal babies are home from school and they are going to try the peanut butter cookies. They each picked one with the chocolate chips, as I anticipated. Has it lifted you to another nirvanic level?
Delicious.
Uh-oh, the chips are falling off. That's because I just kind of stuck them on the top. Probably should have mixed them into the dough. There's a lesson for us. Mix your chips into the dough because they're not going to stick on top. Which I only didn't mix them into the dough because I was using some of the dough for the regular crisscross da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So what do you think, Neve? You haven't really said anything.
I think that chocolate chips, they are good on top, but I prefer just the regular dough without
the chips?
Chips on top.
Interesting. So you think the cookie itself is what? What do you think of the cookie itself? Just the cookie part without the chips.
It's very flaky.
Flaky. Interesting.
Very peanut buttery.
Very peanut buttery. That's what we were going for. What do you think, Autumn?
100 out of 10. Delicious. Amazing.
For real?
I would eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Beautiful.
High praise indeed. Oh, here she is. She's back. Well, now the thing is, like you're not, you had cookie, but no milk, and now you have milk and no cookie. It's all out of balance.
I'm gonna get another. Can you give me a plain cookie?
Can I try one?
Please. Thank you.
Now we have cookies out of milk.
Oh, you're going for the chocolate chips again.
I like chocolate chip.
Interesting. All right. You look like you're doing something prayerful with it. Holy Communion using peanut butter cookies. That's a church I'd go to.
That is really good.
And if I was going to be eating them and would eat the entire batch myself, as I would have used crunchy peanut butter because I like the crunch, but I used creamy for this crowd. You saw he made a face at the mention of crunchy peanut butter. So much better. Ugh, creamy peanut butter, bleh.
Like, you don't want to crunch in your peanut butter and jelly.
Yes, you do. That's exactly what you want. Thanks for watching. Everybody give it a dab and dab it. Oh, don't lick the plate. That is just bad manners. Oh, look at that. Oh, my God. Who raised these two?